My name is Mark Desrosiers, and I'm serving as the Speaker of the Connecticut State Dental Association House of Delegates. Every year, the CSDA House of Delegates elects the officers of our state association and the representatives from Connecticut who serve in the ADA House of Delegates. In this video, I will provide an overview of this process and the rules that govern these elections. It is our hope that this will encourage more members to step up and run for these positions. Nominations. Any eligible CSDA member in good standing may announce their candidacy for elective office by submitting a letter of intent, curriculum vitae, and signed conflict of interest form to the CSDA Executive Director by no later than January 31st. Candidates seeking election to the ADA House of Delegates must also include a signed and dated information sheet. Interested candidates can obtain a copy of the conflict of interest form and informational sheet by contacting our executive director. After this deadline, additional nominations may be made up to 45 days prior to the annual session of the CSDA House of Delegates if the eligible candidate submits a petition that is signed by 5% of the CSDA's membership or 2/3 of the delegates from any district within our House of Delegates. Anyone who is nominated by petition will have 5 additional days after this deadline to submit the same documentation that was required of the individuals who announced their candidacy prior to January 31st. If there are no candidates for an officer position or too few candidates to fill all of the seats we have been given in the ADA House of Delegates, then the CSDA House of Delegates may also nominate additional candidates during their annual session. Eligibility. In general, all candidates must be an active, retired, or life member in good standing of the Connecticut State Dental Association in order to be eligible for election. However, there are additional eligibility requirements that vary based upon what position a candidate may be seeking. The candidates for president-elect, vice president, and treasurer are subject to a geographic limitation that prohibits members from the same district from holding more than 2 officer positions within the CSDA. In the event there are too many candidates from the same district running for different officer positions, there are procedures in place that will resolve this issue. There are also term limits that apply to our other elected positions. The Speaker and Secretary of the House are only eligible to serve for 6 consecutive years and a maximum of 9 total years in each of these positions. Any member who reaches this limit will become ineligible for that position, but may run for other elected offices. Candidates for the ADA House of Delegates are limited to serving for up to 10 consecutive years. However, there is an exception for anyone who serves as an automatic delegate or automatic alternate delegate. Any time served in these automatic positions does not count towards this term limit. Those members who reach the 10 consecutive year mark as an elected delegate or elected alternate delegate will be ineligible for election until after 2 years have passed. Candidates for the ADA House of Delegates must also satisfy specific experience requirements. All candidates must have served for at least 1 session as a delegate or alternate delegate to the CSDA House of Delegates or in the ADA House as a delegate or alternate delegate from the American Student Dental Association. Elections. Our elections are held during the annual session of the CSDA House of Delegates. If there is only 1 eligible candidate for an officer position, then that individual is elected by acclamation because they are running unopposed. However, if there are multiple candidates for an officer position, then the delegates who serve in the CSDA House of Delegates will vote by secret ballot. These CSDA delegates will also vote on our representatives to the ADA House of Delegates. The American Dental Association will determine the total number of delegates and alternate delegates that are allocated to our state. A few of these positions will be automatically reserved for the president, president-elect, and vice president, as well as any CSDA member who is serving as an officer of the ADA First District Caucus. The remaining positions will be determined by the order of finish in the election for our state delegation. Under this system, the candidates who receive the most votes will typically fill the elected delegate positions and then the elected alternate delegate positions until all these openings have been filled. However, if there is a candidate who has not previously served in the ADA House of Delegates, then that individual will not be eligible for an elected delegate position and may only serve as an alternate delegate, even if they have received more votes than other candidates. In conclusion, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Please feel free to contact the CSDA if you have any questions about our election process or if you would like to run for these positions. Thank you.